So we have to understand this isn't some innocent thing like, oh, I just like looking at porn. Like, it's just, yeah, it's no big deal. No different than like, I just like to go walk in nature. Yeah. See, we have to understand why we did it, why we're doing it. It's a deep, deep, deep escape mechanism. It's no different than why people excessively drink or get high or do anything. There's so many different addictions: food, caffeine, smoking, gambling. There's hundreds. There's like, I don't know, 300 12-step programs. Those are good programs, by the way. If you have an addiction, go to a 12-step program and get support. There's 2 levels of support. Well, maybe more. Let's say 3. You have healthy lifestyle habits that increase the vibration of your total being, so that then you're in touch with your inner power, so then you can stop doing these addictions because you're in touch with your power. You're not living in the shadows of your dark side. That's one way. Another way, it's spiritual energy, which is inside you, but you have to access it. Good lifestyle habits help you access it. But then another way is to be in a collective, you can say, supportive environment that you're getting power and energy from other people who are there for the same reason. You see, we can't deny that. There's human level and there's spiritual level. An intelligent, wise person uses both because we're in this human body. You can't just say, oh, I'm just going to meditate everything away. Yeah, try it. All right. So depends how long you've been doing it. If you've been spending years doing this debaucherous dark habit, you're escaping yourself. You're escaping your emotions, your feelings, your tendencies. When you stop doing that, see, when you escape them, they don't dissolve. They don't just vanish. No, they stay locked inside you. It's like you're burying these feelings and issues and trauma. You're burying it alive. They're still alive. They don't die. They're still getting oxygen somehow. So when you stop escaping them, they're all gonna bleed through. They're gonna come up. It's like a dirty ink bottle, right? Let's say you have a dirty ink bottle. You pour all the ink out, but then you pour fresh water in it. It's still, the water's black. You have to keep pouring the water in, and then it starts to all flush out. But that ink is hiding in there. It's the same thing when we're doing PMO and any kind of sex addiction. We're temporarily escaping from the inevitable. That stuff has to come out. So when you stop doing that, it's like the floodgates open. Like all this stuff comes out. And then you can get neurotic, psychotic. You can get super tired, or you can get super rageful, and you can get everything in between. So this is normal. Now, how long that lasts depends how long you've been doing it, depends on the sensitivity of your nervous system, depends if you have any neurological issues. You're going to be more sensitive to these withdrawals. There's all these factors. So that's why, like, you can't ask me how long it's going to last and expect me to give you a correct answer. I don't know. It doesn't matter, though. You do what you know is right. What difference does it make? What if it lasts for 10 years? What, are you going to not do it? We got to do it at some point. You know what happens to people that don't work on themselves? They just live like in this unconscious, just obliterated state their whole life. You can tell a lot by a person's death, generally speaking. If they suffer a lot in that, last 6 months or year of their life here on this planet, it's because all this stuff is coming up. They didn't do any work when they were, functional. So all that stuff starts to come out when they're dying. Why? Because it makes the transition easier. When we let this body go and go to the next plane, it makes it easier. So the consciousness is doing them a favor, but it don't feel like one. So do your work now and you'll have a cleaner death, I guarantee you. So I wanted to explain, like, that's why you feel bad. Because it's like, I can tell by the comments and questions, they're like, why am I feeling worse? Like, I'm doing something that's like good. Like, why am I feeling worse? I can understand, like, why, because nobody like who's making videos about that? There's some, but most you get more female traction, get $1 million. It's like, okay, what about the other side of this though? I don't know why they don't talk about it. Maybe they're still edging, so they're like blocking the withdrawal process. But I'm telling you, when you really start to come out of this deep addiction, includes PMO and edging, takes time, by the way, you can't do that overnight. You're going to start to have this these purification consequences, you can call it. So that's normal. That means you're doing the right thing. That's how you look at it. You're like, whoa, I'm cleansing myself. Look at all this dirt that's coming out. Look at all these repressed emotions and feelings I haven't felt for who knows how long. Now they're coming up. Good. Doesn't feel good, but good. Most people are so blocked and so suppressed, if you put them in some kind of, what do they call it, deprivation chamber, or if they went to prison, they locked them up in some isolation room, they'd go crazy, they'd crack. They'd have a psychotic breakdown. Because all this stuff, that you don't have any addictions or habits or nothing in there, you're just here, like with yourself. That's why I respect, who's the magician? Is it Copperfield? I'm bad with names. The big magician, the main guy, he stayed in a little box for 40 days. No water. I mean, no, he drank water, but he water fasted for 40 days in this little box. Man, that's strong. And then he broke down. They were interviewing him. He broke down in a good way. They were interviewing him later, and he's like, it's like he was saying, man, he was crying a little bit. He's like, they got no idea. Because people were, you always have haters out there talking nonsense. It's part of the game. But they were saying some things that really, he was in a sensitive state, and it hurt him. And he's like, they got no idea what I'm doing and putting on film for people to see. They got no idea. And it just, he's healthy, he has an emotional body, so he expressed that. It's like, man, it's just too bad that people are so cold. Why are they so cold? Because they're cut off from their own inner source. When you're cut off from that, you don't care about anybody. Nothing. No conscience, nothing. You don't care about people, let alone animals. A lot of people, when it comes to animals, or let's go further, bugs. If you see a bug, they'll just step on it for the fun of it. You don't do that when you're connected inside. I mean, yeah, a mosquito bites you, you're going to take care of it. But, people are cut off from they don't know themselves as consciousness. If you know yourself as consciousness, you're going to have automatic unity and compassion for other beings, other sentient beings, not just humans. But, so, if a person's totally deprived of all their little addictions that they do and just locked up, the purging process is just too much. Their mind will crack. I noticed an interesting thing during COVID because it was like, I don't know, a year or so. Everything was shut down. Like you could go outside for a few hours or something. Yeah. Anyway, people got deprived of doing what they're normally doing. Their whole escape thing, go here, go there, be busy. I'm so busy doing nothing, but I think I'm doing something. All that stopped. It's like God locked the whole world down, turned the world into an ashram. And then I noticed people started dying, not from COVID though. They didn't die from that. They were dying from other things. And I was contemplating that. And then it came to me. I said, the average person is so distracted and busy, they have no consciousness of their body. If you have consciousness of your body and what's going on, you don't need to go to the doctor. I haven't went to the doctor since I had an accident or something when I was early 20s in a car, and so the ambulance scooped me up and took me to, but it was involuntary. I'm glad they did it. So I haven't been, because why? When you're conscious of your body and how things function, you know if something's wrong. You don't need to go to a doctor and get these tests that aren't always reliable to tell you if something's wrong. You just feel, okay, something's wrong or right. And if you live in a high vibrational lifestyle doing semen retention, what's going to happen? Like, how are you going to get any problems, you know? And when it's time to die, you'll probably just lay down and die. You have a clean death. So these people, though, they're so busy doing, you know, whatever, distracting themselves. When God shut the whole world down, they all of a sudden were forced to come, they felt like the symptoms of their body. They felt the imbalances and the elements. And so then it's like they couldn't run from it anymore. And so the body like shut down. They finally stopped, and then everything got to catch up, and then they died. So that's how powerful of distractions the average person lives in. Super distracted, a super distracted state. So don't get mad if they don't like give attention to you and understand you. Like, come on, they don't even give any attention or understanding to their own self. You know? I think we're good. I'm gonna make another video because I make videos on Sundays and Wednesdays. And we have a Discord group. If you want to go see that, that was created by a brother. And I don't know, there's probably 100 people or more on it now. And so those who are having, you can say trouble, you go on there and you leave a message and people will talk to you and help you and share their experience with you, and you'll, helps you come out of that. This is why it was created. The link is on the About section of my channel page. Just scroll down, you'll see the link. Discord group. All right, see you.